Hello and welcome to the second episode of Air Rifle Myths. In today's episode I'm going to look at what pellets can do over a distance. A lot of people say air rifles are useless outside of 20 yards. A lot of people say actually, you can still do stuff at 100 yards. So the only problem is I've only got about 21, 22 yards maximum range here. But we're going to have a look and see if that range has an effect on what a pellet will do compared to close range. So we're going to be shooting these 250 odd page catalogues. I think there's 245 pages in the last episode. So we have one that's going to be about 2.5 yards away from where I'm going to stand to shoot. The next one's up in front of the tree. That's going to be about 12 yards away or so. Next there's one to the right, just a couple of yards, about a yard in front of the metal bin. So that's going to be about 18 yards or so. Then you can hopefully see there's one on the gate sitting up, and that's going to be about 21 yards roughly from where I'm standing. So I'm going to shoot them all twice with an SMK Spitfire round, and then we'll have a look and see what they do, the pellets, if there's any difference between the closest and longest ones, and hopefully I'll get decent shots on all of them. I'm going to aim roughly for the centre of each of them, so that should give us a good, obviously, central shot. Hopefully all the pellets hit. The last target, the first pellet knocked it off, so I didn't bother resetting it. Okay, so first catalogue, entry hole there and there, exit holes there. Looks like both pellets essentially crossed into the same big gap eventually, and then both exited in roughly the same area. Catalogue number 2, looks like we've got 2 exits there, entry hole there and there, so these pellets went a bit high, but obviously this can be my aiming. So both pellets went all the way through, both exited, but exit holes seem a little bit smaller on this one. Looks like we've got at least one entry hole here. There. I think that's the only entry that hasn't managed to exit. The pellet has got roughly to about page 40, the front end of the pellet, there we go. It's been completely flattened, and then the pages have taken an impact up until about 120, a little bit further. Now here's the one that I shot off the gate. I can't see any signs of an entrance hole on here. Ah, the pellet has gone in. It went in to the left of the Furby, and can't find a pellet, but it has gone at least 126 pages in terms of ripping it and things. Well, what has this taught us? It's taught us that the pellets will still penetrate a book at 20 yards, so the air rifle certainly isn't useless outside of 10 yards. Obviously at closer ranges it made bigger holes and also went further. However, that's not to say that using better pellets, heavier pellets, they'd be more effective at longer range. And also, obviously, if I had a scope on this and I had a rest, so I was precisely hitting it in the same place, and also counting for zeroing, I think that they'd have penetrated further at those ranges. But I think this has proved at least that an air rifle isn't useless outside of 10 yards, would be still useful outside of 20 yards. Then obviously at some point I hope I'll get a range where I can test it about 40-50 yards, and we'll see if it does anything at those ranges. Thanks for watching.